How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another reaction to Gunsmoke. So this is season 1 episode 13, Reed Survives. So the last episode was kind of more of a light-hearted kind of Christmas episode with Buster's brother. So it would have been nice to have seen more of him, but obviously he's gone again, and I doubt we'll be seeing him again, but it would have been cool to see him again. I enjoyed his characters. But yeah, it was a nice kind of light-hearted episode. But yeah, let's get ready now for episode 13, Reed Survives.
There's a trail that leads from Dodge up here to Boot Hill. Not many people travel it by choice. Stops right here. Most of the men lying here thought they were heading
It's
somewhere
like the last
else.
stand, the last
But this
stop
is
off.
where they ended, to steer them away from here, to keep them from a useless, violent end. But now and then, there's one who won't listen. And more often than not, he's buried out here. Alone and forgotten.
I don't have much time. I don't want Ephraim to know I'm here.
What's on your mind?
Matt, he's going to kill me. It's true, he told me. Everybody thinks he's so good. Studied to be a preacher and all.
Obviously, you can't take that claim lightly. You have to investigate, obviously.
He knew where I worked when he married me. Now he keeps telling me I'm evil. That by marrying him, I led him into sin. They're all in his mind.
So she was obviously
He's got any mind left.
woman of the night.
Well, you want to file charges against him?
Obviously, I assume he doesn't know that she
Take your
came
mind off the heat.
to
you.
Matt about the
Yeah,
claim that
well,
he
it
wants
may
to kill
be.
her.
Hell, a man like you shouldn't have any cares, Mr. Hunt. Rich farm, good health, a good wife.
That's the dream.
Care lurks everywhere, Marshal. Man's brief joy is dearly bought.
How's Mrs. Hunt?
Her health is excellent. Her state of grace is more uncertain.
Well, it's nothing serious.
A man has a duty in this world, Marshal, to lend his strength to the frail reeds of his household. She been to see you?
She was a little worried about you.
More worried for herself.
She needs a strong hand. But
Look, Kitty, you used to know Lucy when she worked here, didn't you? About her, what was she really like?
Oh, I don't know, Matt. I didn't get to know her very well. None of us did. Kept to herself most of the time. Why? What's the matter?
Well, I don't know exactly, but tell me, Booth. How would you get along with Mrs. Hunt?
fine.
Just wondered.
Something on your mind, Marshal?
Maybe. It's a big world, Booth. There's a lot of it you haven't seen yet. Why don't you go out and look some of it over? Some of those big spreads up north.
Traveling the fair. Maybe he saw them together and that's why he wants her killed.
He bought a gun this afternoon. He's going to kill us. Both of us. He told me so. You
Is she using this guy?
get that gun. You got to go out there and take it.
Maybe she wants to kill him.
You can do it. Because you got a gun too.
She's married him
If you
for
don't
his money.
face him and get it over
Like she
with,
love him.
he'll lay for you. Shoot you in the back.
Yeah, I think she's using this guy. I think she's using this guy to kill her husband because she actually just thinks, or just wants the money maybe. The fortune. But he does have a gun on him right now.
Just because a man buys a gun don't prove that he's planning a murder.
That's right, Chester. Over in the barn.
He did it.
Easy now. Marshal.
Can he say who
Yeah,
shot
it's
him?
me.
That he saw him run?
Who did this to you?
Admire you, Marshal. You have such implicit faith in the law.
Yeah, I definitely think this was a setup. Lucy. I think she's the villain in the whole piece. Well, Boot as well.
What are you doing out there so long?
Not what you were expecting. Yeah, it's unraveling. Like, surely she would have heard the gunshot as well. She definitely would have heard it.
Who were you expecting?
I thought you were my husband.
Yeah, he's seen right through this.
Congratulations, Mrs. Hunt.
Yeah.
You'll get away with it clean as a whistle. I can't touch you. Your husband's murder?
You're out of your mind.
I figured it out too late. You killed him without touching a trigger. You worked young Booth Ryder up to that with promises.
You're crazy.
You knew Booth wouldn't shoot an unarmed man.
Yeah, because she could convinced him. She kind of
You don't have any
built him
proof.
up.
You just... And if Booth Ryder did shoot my husband, as you claim, then I think you'd better be out looking for him.
God.
He won't get far. Well, let's go take him.
Oh, they found him, okay.
Hank who?
Booth?
Booth Ryder?
Silhouette gone missing. Loses his life because of it.
It's a terrible place to shoot people, Matt.
Oh, wait, his
Barns and
life.
stables. Worst place in the world. How'd you find me?
Well, I figured you'd come back to Lucy when things quieted down. I had the place watched.
Oh, he's in there in the house.
What?
I choked her to death.
Holy shit. God, I did not anticipate that.
And you'd have probably got away with it clean, too. He did have a gun in his hand, even if he didn't know how to use it. But not now.
Oh, God.
They'll never let you out of this, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, I reckon. Sundown, and I figured to lay in just for the night.
Just came
I was
upon the
aiming to
wrong
stay
person.
I was just riding through.
God.
Booth, you should have kept on riding.
Surely he wasn't to know, though. That's the only thing. Okay, so that was season 1, episode 13, Reed Survives. This was a very, very solid episode. Again, what it does so well is, like, obviously you're at this stage you're attached to, like, Matt Dillon and Chester and the kind of the recurring characters, but they did a great job of making you in strong reaction to Lucy, to Booth, and the husband. You know, Lucy emerges. At first you're kind of feeling sorry for, like, oh, this poor girl, and obviously seem to have a little bit of interaction with Matt in the past. So you think, oh, she can't have been a bad girl, but then you see what her intentions are, and then you're just really, initially from suspecting the husband to feeling sorry for him. And then with Boot in particular, he's where the really interesting one is, because you're like, oh, this guy, you know, he's a pawn, and then you're like, you know what, you can't feel sorry for me, kill this guy. But then you're thinking, was he trying to defend himself because of what Lucy said? Then he fucks off, and you're like, look, you gotta do time, man. And then you feel sorry for him again because she just used him basically, but then you learn that he strangled her to death. There's so many waves of emotions with his character in particular, and I did a really good job of kind of having moments that really hit home, and you're like, wow, jeez. But I just assumed she'd get away, and I was actually preparing at the end, like, my final thoughts. I was going to, you know, for a show back then that was really good, like, that she got away with it, like, you know, we know what she did. But then you learn a whole other thing where, no, he actually killed her, and he would have avoided a long jail sentence if he hadn't have killed her, because you could claim it was self-defense with the husband. I can't remember his name now, but yeah, just really, with those characters, they really did, they stood out and had their moments. So yeah, I thought this was a very solid episode. But until next time, guys, slán go fóill.